Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage Eve Nyaga.
Hi guys. Hi. So like you've heard, my name is Eve Nyaga. So other than that, I am a friend. You know. Yes, like hata nashindwa. Where do I start? Feeling amenifanyia introduction poa. But yeah, I am a journalist by profession. I'm a TV presenter. I'm a reporter, voiceover artist, YouTuber, content creator. And on top of that, I'm a friend to many of you here. I am a sister, I am an aunt, and many more. And hoping to be a CEO. Unajua natembea na watu wenye wamekuwa ma CEO. So pia mimi nina hope that nikikaa na wao karibu, close, you know, I'll become a CEO. Anyway, so right about now, we want to do a panel discussion. And the reason why we want to have this discussion is because we are here to celebrate excellence in fashion, you know, the fashion industry. So we just want to have a few industry players, you know, in the fashion business. We have a small conversation to see what we are doing right, what we are doing wrong, and how and why events like Grand Fashion Awards, which is about to be one of the biggest. Mark my words. Mark my words. You know, mutakata hii clip na mtaitumia in future. One of the biggest fashion events in the country. Sawa sawa. So let me introduce my panelists so that we can get that ball rolling. Karibuni sana, and I hope in case you have a question, iandike tu mahali chini. So utauliza baadaye. So are we taking this away? Alright, so guys ready? Yeah, so let's do this. So it's fast, right? My first panelist, you know, nakusikia tu ukicheka. Yeah. So my first panelist is a beautiful, gorgeous lady, and I feel like she understood the assignment here, Leo. You know, fashion, be creative. She goes by the name Faith Amurugu. Now, Faith is an event producer, a marketing and branding consultant. She holds a bachelor's degree in fashion design and marketing from Kenyatta University, and currently pursuing a master's in psychology from the University of East London. She is the current marketing manager at the International School of Advertising, and she is very passionate about sharing her experiences and nurturing emerging talent. Now, I remember the first time I met Faith, that is around the time Vivian pitched to her, you know, the idea of Grand Fashion Award, and she told us, oh, by the way, this is such a coincidence because but I don't like the design and creative part of it, but you know, the marketing side of it is here, and she'll be giving us, you know, important what we can do to make money, you know, in this fashion business. So give it up for Faith Amurugu as she makes her way to the stage. Okay, so my next panelist is a gentleman who has made it on some of the biggest international magazines. Yani tunaongea mambo ya Vogue Italia. Fashion yake hayuzi Kenya peke yake. It's international, an international brand, and it goes by the name Looks Like a Video. So David Avido is a self-taught fashion designer, community organizer, and entrepreneur born and raised in Kibra, Nairobi, Kenya. Well, Looks Like a Video was founded in 2021, and it focuses on training and developing sewing skills for deaf women, young mothers, and youth who are passionate about a career in fashion. He also helps kids by supporting their school tuition and has sewn hundreds of uniforms to boost their self-esteem. The first time I heard about Looks Like a Video is this video that was done by Kate Actress that went viral. Simnakumbuka kale kakofia? Yes, now that is who Looks Like a Video is. I want you to give a hearty clap for Looks Like a Video as he makes his way to the stage. So this is the man behind that viral video, that viral kakofia. Mbona nyima watu makofi lakini? Yes. Karibu sana looks like a video. And my last panelist, we've had about fashion weeks, right? We have the big four: Milan, London, Paris. I can't remember the fourth one. Vivian, remind me the fourth one. London, Paris. Uh-huh. Okay. Kibera Fashion Week. But before we get to that, there's another one. New York Fashion Week. Alafu sasa hapo tu tukikaribia after tumepita Kibera Fashion Week. Walijua si enough, by the way, to end international. We have our very own Nairobi Fashion Week. So we have the creative director of Nairobi Fashion Week, Brian Kihinda. So clap for him as he makes his way to the stage. So this is my panel for the evening. So I want them to go around introducing themselves. Hiyo ni introduction kidogo tu. Yani hawa watu ni ma CEO. Si nimewambia mimi nataka kukuwa CEO. So I have to sit next to CEOs. So it's coming, it's coming, right? So let's start with David. Just give us a brief introduction about yourself before we get to the, topic of the day. Do you have another mic?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I heard David, so I thought maybe it's a video, but it's all good. So my name is Brian Kihindas. I'm the creative director of Nairobi Fashion Week. I'm also the founder of Kenya Fashion Council. In my capacity, I'm here as a representative from the Kenya Fashion Council to support this award. There's quite a lot of work we are doing with the Fashion Council, which I hope will delve into as we progress with our discussions. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, welcome. Another clap for him, please. Faith, your turn.
Hi, everyone. My name is Faith Murungu. I'm a fashion marketer, event producer, and also a brand consultant. I am glad to be here. I've worked with so many designers, so I hope what I have gathered within the years will be helpful to one or all of you, yeah? So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Karibu sana, Avido.
Hello, everyone. It's really good to be here. Happy to share with you guys what I know about fashion and, what have been happening over the years, and also excited to learn from my fellow colleagues and also you guys. Thank you.
All right. So yesterday, Avido, there was news that was released that the Kenyan government has set aside 100 million Kenya shillings. Okay, no. We are here for the fashion part. We are not here about, the money part, right? Sindio? So tusikasirike sana. So to design the national dress. And I don't know, in your opinion, what would be the ideal national Kenyan dress? How would it look like?
First of all, when people think about designing the national attire, this thing is really complex, because Kenya, we are over we are around 50 different languages, tribes around the country, and you cannot just come with one thing that represent the country specifically. So we have to factor in all this. So at the end of the day, I feel we can either come with different attires that have different meanings and stuff, because if we speak, let's say, about Kamba people, they have the attire that represents them, Kikuyu, Luos, the same way. So it's just hard to be able to convince the whole country to just be able to wear one attire. So I think that is something that's is more challenging, and I don't know how they're gonna be able to do that. So that's why you find most of the time, the only thing that can represent us out there is the bracelets that we wear.
What about the Masai Shuka?
The Masai Shuka, first of all, that is not even Masai Shuka, because that came from the Scottish.
Oh.
That was a Scottish fabric. So since Masai people started wearing it, now people associate Masai people with the Masai Shuka, but that is not Kenyan. If you want to dig really regarding art and stuff. So I don't really think it's yet to be achieved. So we just have to sit down as creatives, put our minds together, try to think, put each other in different people's shoes, and from there definitely maybe we might come up with something. But at the moment yet, until creatives get to sit down and understand each other and to get the ego out of doing their own things, we still have a long way. And I don't even think if that 100 million will reach us.
How many designers do you think should be working on that project to achieve, the ideal Kenyan national dress?
For me, it's not about the number of how many designers that are supposed to be working on that project, but even if it's maybe 10 10, 2, 3, 4 people, and then they're open-minded to consult with their fellow people, like to make that people feel like they're part of it. That's the most important thing. But number is not anything. You can be even like 100 or 1,000 people, and then you come up with something that is not worth it. Yeah.
All right, so Faith, I'm gonna bring you in on that, and I just want to know, how can there's 100 million set aside for designers. How can they leverage that and make sure that they're having money in their pocket? Because at the end of the day, there's no one who wants to work without marupurupu. I wanna work, and utamu wa kufanya kazi ni pesa. Yeah.
One thing is, be confident in what you bring on the table. Don't go there thinking, oh, there's a Babu, or there's Moishime, or they're bigger than me. No, go there with the confidence, so you're in that table because you have something to bring, you are a creative, and go there and just sit on that table as if you own it. That's what I say. And that's the thing with creative. Most of us really suffer from imposter syndrome, and you get such a chance. You're like, should I not? Oh my God, look at the qualifications. Oh my God, I don't meet any of them. But if you know you can do the work, do the work. 80% of the work out here is taught on the job, in the job, right? No work is the same. So just grab these opportunities as they come and tear imposter syndrome out of the way and sit on that table as if you know what you bring on the table, so bring it. Yeah.
Okay. Brian, still on that conversation, I know you've done a couple of editions of Nairobi Fashion Week. What have you seen mostly that incorporated when it comes to creating the Kenyan national dress?
Okay, so first of all, from Kenya Fashion Council's perspective, we have been allocated as the fashion industry one slot within the National Dress Committee, which Kenya Fashion Council provided a representative. Her name is Monica Canary. So in terms of government involving this industry, there is involvement. But then in terms of when you look at the national dress, there is key elements involved. There's the creative side, the design side, there is the history side, which is what Abido has alluded to. There's quite a lot of technical team and there's a lot of people involved in making sure that we're able to curate or collate data that will then inform us to now work on the fine print. So my experience has just taught me to, when you think about the figure, you really cannot think how much money is that and why would people spend so much in it. But there's a lot of people involved. We are still yet to get the proper timeline on when we should deliver. But this process has been there before, and for some reason, whatever came out was not, really. Yeah, so now I think government has noticed that, and I think as a people, there's need for us to, much as we are very diverse in culture, for us to have an identity of some sort that we can relate to. People would be able to look at and say, this is Kenya. So we have to get different components of design as a creative, and then also different views from different tribes. But at the end of the day, we need to have a product that speaks or that one can easily identify as this is a Kenyan dress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's bring this conversation the pageant, the Nairobi Fashion Week. Any fashion event for that matter, the pop-ups.
Okay, fashion employs quite a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people would look at fashion, and maybe one of the few things that would trickle down to in their mind is maybe designers and tailors, but it goes beyond that. There's a whole spectrum. There are models that are waiting to walk the ramp. There are stylists that are waiting to style a look. There's journalists that are waiting to do the next feature. So it's a whole ecosystem. There are hotels like this that are waiting to host. So it's important, one, in a way, because it sustains the creative economy, and It's able to create employment for different creatives within our industry. And also, two, it's actually able to put Kenya in the map. You know, it's very important that we have a vibrant industry that people can rely on. And I'm happy that at the Kenya Fashion we are trying to set up the fashion events calendar by engaging different stakeholders. And I know that I think in the next few days, Avido, you'll definitely get a call. And the whole effort is to see
We are
beyond.
not getting a call.
That's why we are here. So yeah, but we want to see how well beyond the setting of the dates and getting to know when we have an event, how can we support as Fashion Council? How can we lobby government and private sector support financially? Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure everybody got an invite for today. Now, there was a theme, you know, look stylish, right? And one thing that has stood out is the fact that, you know, we get criticized a lot, you know, Kenyans, oh, when you're invited to an event, you don't look good, sijui munakaaje, huyu sijui amevai a video. Do you think Kenyans show up to events dressed apart?
I mean,
Wait, before you even get there, have the people in this event today dressed up for the event?
cloth doesn't make a person. A person makes a cloth. So
Say that again.
cloth doesn't make a person. Person makes the clothes.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, like for me, I normally say like the favorite thing that I'll want somebody to dress or wear is their personality. Go somewhere, but you are you. Whereby like whatever information or you are taking or you are getting from there is something that you really value and something that you can really be able like, you know, to take somewhere else. But you can dress very well at the end of the day and then you go somewhere, anything, mentally, which is very horrible stuff. So for me, like as much as like I'm a designer and yes, I make money from making clothes for people, it's not worth it to make an outfit to people which doesn't have a meaning for them at the end of the day. But Kenyans knows how to dress, to be honest with you. Like if it comes to like, you know, styling them own self and stuff, like we are really good in that. And we have the eye for that. And everybody in the room like dressed their part. Yeah.
Simjipige makofi tu kidogo. You look lovely, by the way. Yeah, so Avido, being a Kenyan designer whose attires have sold, you know, internationally, like why do you have so many of your clientele, you know, getting your designs when you see Kenyans? Like, why don't Kenyans buy a lot of the Kenyan brands that we have? Is it that they're expensive? Is it that the thrift market is taking over? Kwa sababu, let's be honest, kuna mtu ata prefer, niende kwa video anishone nguo ya 7,000, mimi nitaenda pale Gikomba, thao, napiga luku vibaya sana. So what is the issue? Why are we not wearing enough Kenyan brands?
I think Kenyans are wearing enough, you know, because like, because I mean, I know I'm a designer, but we are like 1,000 designers around Kenya. And, you know, in the entire world, like, we have over 7 billion people. So, me, I'm happy just dressing the 10 people in that 7.
Really?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, it's getting to learn your clientele. As long as I have, like, a clientele that I'm sure about, and they're organic. So, like, I don't have to struggle so much because I don't want to put greed into it. Because also, like, that's what I was telling you, like, at the end of the day, you need to learn how to take care of yourself as an artist, like, you know, the mental health issues and you, being a man, being able, like, to talk and communicate about how you feel and things like that. So I'll say, like, there are so many designers in the country and different people, like, they try to, you know, wear from different other designers. And aside from that, some of them might not wear from a certain designer, but maybe they'll get outfit from stylists. So maybe the stylist maybe might get them from different other people. So they won't know this came from this specific designer, but it still like reached them. So I feel like we support each other in our own ways, knowingly and sometimes unknowingly. So I don't see the need of like dressing everybody also at the end of the day. So at least.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I feel like it's healthy to balance it. So they are just you know, things like that. Both helps us like people like to match up for tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the right track.
We are in the right track.
Yeah.
Not like people because
when you think about like let's say fashion, let's say like 20 years ago, I think like the people that help us like to be able like to make the fashion thing to be like more known in Kenya and also maybe in Africa, I'll say is women. Because when I was growing up, like my mom was like wearing like different clothes every Sundays for different chamas. So you find like they'll wear the laces and the laces have like meaning into it, whereby it's written like couple of few paragraphs and stuff just regarding the community and stuff. So I feel like we've been doing that. So if an individual fails to notice it, it's about the person, but not the whole nation. Yeah.
So Faith, from a marketing perspective, how can we, and I know we are in the right track, but how can we, translate the fashion into money in our pockets?
I want to first pick up from where he was and ask, like us in the room, how many people here right now are wearing a Kenyan designer? See? So that's where we start. Yeah. I think since I did fashion, the first thing we were told in class is look the part and look like people will address you from your fashion, right? So make it intentional. How many designers are you in class? Like 50 something. Can we get a piece from each other? At least you're wearing somebody else's piece. And I live for the day we're gonna have like Oscars or like even Grand Fashion Award, and we have a whole red carpet, and all the names of people who are working there, like I'm dressed by so and so, and all of those are Kenyan designers, So that is me as a fashion designer. I want to challenge you to get people to wear your brand, and it doesn't have to be. Okay, let me give a story. So I work with this designer. He's called Eddie Moeshime. He showcased in New York Fashion Week last week, but that's not where he started. He started with making big gowns, and since we had events, now he would give people like here dress for free. He will go to Latoya and it's like, Latoya, can you dress with for free? Whether you return it. And that's how he built his name in the industry. So as a fashion designer, get your stuff out there. Get it on people's, it sounds like a wrong word, but get it on people's body, I remember when I was listening to Chris Njoki, she was saying that when she started and she saw her first top, she just sent it to someone who has influence, and she wrote a note, a simple note, and she was like, oh my God, thank you. Nobody has ever written a note for me. I will sell this to everybody I know. I will market it. So use what you have, be personal. Fashion is about story. There's nothing new under the face of the earth. So give it a story, give it a soul, and get it to people and people's body or feet if you're in shoes and all that. Yeah.
Thank you. So there's still a question you haven't answered for me. Yeah. So how can we, translate that into money? As much as tunataka kufanya influencing, we need the money. And speaking of influencing, I remember there's this video I had of Naomi, the one who does the gowns, the wedding gowns, saying that sometimes celebrity may invite you an event, but maybe the clothes are too expensive, and you find that we just want partnerships because it's beyond their budget. So what can we do as well to bridge that gap?
I answer the first one.
Yes.
Okay. How do you translate it to money? Depends on what money is to you. Depends on what money is. There's some it's tangible, there's some it's network, there's some is if I dress Brian, he's gonna open a door for me in Fashion Council. Depends what money is for you. So you have to define what that is, and then how do you translate it, let's say, to tangible money? Sell, you don't even have to. Fabric is expensive in Kenya. Fabric is expensive, but I can tell you, I have run a show where designers only used waste fabric, meaning start somewhere, do jewelry, take a shoe, paint it, sell it, get even 5% profit. Go to Gikomba, get clothes, upscale them, sell them. Start somewhere, get kidogo money. You build pole pole and you translate that into money. How we can bridge the gap of like fabric clothes being expensive and partnership and all that and all that. That's a tricky one. Because I wish like the government was here and was telling, I wanted to tell them, revive our factories, revive the cotton, revive the, because we get to import a lot of these things, which would have cut down the cost, but there's no way around it. Because you'll get like, folk inakaa pesa mingi, but kwa designer yo pesa kidogo, you know. So if I come and explain to you, but they ingo ni 20K, you may not see it, but the fabric, the labor, like I said, a lot of effort has gone, like a lot of labor has gone into that. So I may not know how to bridge the gap, but probably maybe make more money so we can afford our own clothes and revive our industries. Yeah.
About how we can bridge that gap, because I know you've worked with, you know, influencers and maybe kuna regular mwananchi anataka nguo, but it might be expensive for them.
I mean, like bridging the gap of like how to make money, it just basically depends on the designer and your type of clientele. So if your target audience, the way you're saying, like if your target audience is this type of people, like it's up to you to figure out like how to go to that. And then at the end of the day, how you value yourself is how your other clients gonna treat you. Me, per se, I don't like giving anything for free because I don't believe in that, because once you start that, you have to maintain that and it burns you out. Sometimes it's just like the body crashing. So if you don't take care of your body, then the body is gonna crash. The same way, if you don't take care of your business is gonna crash down. So I'll rather stock my stuff even for like 1 year, and that's to wait for like maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4 clients, and then look for a side hustle. So once you start selling your products, then that is it. You'll keep on selling it, but other clients will be coming to you, you know, because there are certain, you know, sometimes when you, let's say, work with like aiming to maybe like just do it with, let's say, influencers and stuff, it can work for you, but sometimes some of them might feel like they are helping you a lot in life. Like doing production is like a really big thing, like whereby like, you know, you source the fabric. You have to, let's say if you don't have a tailor and you know maybe how to sew, you have to sit on the sewing machine. You waste your time sewing it. Can take maybe like a day or 2 days. Once you're done, and then you take it to maybe like the person that you want to wear it for free. They're just gonna wear it for maybe like half a day. Then they're done with whatever they wanted. They return it back to you, not even washed. So I'm like, you just have to value. They buy it, they go with it. It helps you also your bills, and it also inspires you. And the moment, let's say, you start living alone in your own house, you have to pay your own bills and stuff, that's when it hits you. You cannot give them for free anymore, you know. But if you're starting fashion and let's say you're staying with your brother, any of your sibling, or maybe like your mom and stuff, you can do that for free to create a name. Like, do have like a year, or maybe have like a deal with them. They can buy the fabric, take care of the, you know, electricity bill and stuff, and then you just like donate your time to do it. Me personally, when I make my clothes, I normally say like, for all the profits that I have, 20% of that, of the profit that I do get to have, I'll take it to the community, whereby I can make like school uniforms for students, can pay school fees for students, or I can train other deaf women and young women how to sew. So that kind of thing helped me to let it go. So that is the only thing I'm gonna give for free, but I'm not giving you my clothes for free. Yeah.
Ala, nasikia makofi. So, can we talk about that? So, that mean that you don't believe in, you know, the partnerships that are happening right now?
I mean, some partnership are not worth it, because not every opportunity is, you know, is supposed to help you grow. Some opportunities comes to break you down.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to choose wisely. All the celebrities that I've worked with, they paid. Beyonce paid me to make an outfit. Bruno Mars, they paid. Like Chronix, Ty Dolla Sign, like they all pay. If they don't pay you, it means they don't value you. Like, I've worked with them, they still go and, you know, be proud, saying like, I wore this, it's from a video and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's because they're valuing my work. But if they take it saying, I'm just gonna like, you know, post you there and da. I don't eat likes. Like, yeah, I mean, you have to pay for bills.
The names you've mentioned, you've talked about Beyonce, you've talked about Bruno Mars. What about, does that mean that Kenyan celebrities are not doing the same?
No. I mean, I've worked with the Kenyan celebrities also, like Talio Yando, like, she pays. She'll call me. She knows, like, if she wants me to work, she knows I'm going to deliver. And she knows she's going to run to me because I do deliver in time the way she wants it. And I don't like having so many clients. When I was starting up, that's when I got to realize, because sometimes, like, being able, like, to create, like, a premium brand is really important. And once you do that, it helps understand and differentiate. So I have a list of people that believed in me before I understood whatever I was doing. So that list of people, I have it just written there, their contacts and stuff. Any day, anytime, I leave whatever I'm doing and go and make an outfit for them. I don't take no clients anymore, because I just do that, I redo it again, and then I have other business sources that also help me earn a living, because by the time I turn 35, I want to retire from being a fashion designer. Like, I want to do, like, different things. And how can you be able, like, to become wealthy and not just rich? Because making one cloth at a time per day is not going to take you anywhere. Like, you won't even be able, like, to pay your own bills after, like, few years. Let's say you're a celebrity, you don't have money to pay your bills and stuff. Now we start, kukuchangia do and stuff. Like, it's not really healthy. And that is what we are supposed to do, like, to speak with the younger people that are getting into fashion. Like, what is your main goal? What is your purpose in fashion? Why are you doing it? Is it because, like, you see another person doing it well and they are known because of that? Or is it because you look good out of it and things like that? Or does it give you peace? Is it a therapy for you? And, like, they have to get, their goals together and understand why they're putting themselves into that, rather than they try to compete with you in silence without you knowing. Like, you have your different vision, your goals and stuff, and you're working to be able, like, to achieve that. And them, their goal is to be able, like, to make a design that is better than yours. I'm like, since when? Till when? Like, they'll burn out sooner or later, and then now it start becoming a challenge, saying, like, oh, doing this thing is really hard, fashion is hard, I don't know how to make it work, and things like that. Is because they had a wrong vision and goal for a start. If you start something with a strong vision and a goal towards it, and you know the purpose why you're doing it, it always, like, excels in so many ways. Yeah.
So my take home from you is, know your why and know your value,
Yeah.
right? Your what?
Yeah.
Okay, so Faith, he has talked about he does not do the, the free collaboration. So how can you how can you determine that this person, if for them, this is gonna give me, maybe the network I want, this one is gonna for me. How do you spot that? It's not even only in fashion, in all areas of life, Just spotting the right person can be tough.
Do you know the phrase, you have to kiss many frogs to get to the prince? You'll have to meet so many people who are fake, wannabes, and they eat. But you have to put in the work. You have to go and meet people. If you hear there's a event like this, come, network, get to know who is who. If you hear there's an event somewhere, go, get to build networks, right? It's not gonna be easy, because now knowing who is who, you have to even get to a point you have kissed so many frogs, this is a frog. It's not easy. I've been in the industry for over a decade, and I pride myself in building networks. But it doesn't start there. You'll meet a fashion designer. Every fashion designer, every creative is like, I'm it. But are you it? But you have to interact with them and know, is he it? Is he not? And it's very easy to spot. But you can only know this after you have interacted with very, like, you have to put in the work. I'll say that. That's when you can be able to spot, oh, this is a real one. This one, Nini, this is whatever, right? Even me right now, I have built it so much. I can tell you a designer who is gonna make it past 5 years, and another one who's gonna fail next year or the next month, because the attitude, the way they are driven, how they think, are creative. I normally say, sorry. To be great in, like, the creative industry, you have to have some sort of, let me call it delulu kidogo, but it's not delulu. You have to really believe in yourself that people are like, are you okay? Like, you have to be so full of yourself, and it takes a special kind of person to be that. And to spot that, when you're that, you're able to spot it. And how you see, when you become it, the people you want to attract, the way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, then you attract other people who are in that level. Kama uja make it or not, you're going to easily attract them like honey. They're gonna be like, oh, I want to talk to this babe. Probably hata una get. But when you umejivaa ukazileza, yes, I want to hear what you have to say. So even how you present yourself, how you brand yourself is very, very important. Don't just go to a show and you just look like any. I know fashionistas, we are like nini sometimes, they can go out of, but look well. If you want to attract a CEO, look like someone who can sit with a CEO and they will not feel, ishish about you. Educate yourself. Like read, so that you can hold a conversation. You've gotten yourself in the room. You attracted the people you want. What content, what substance are you bringing on the table? So feed your mind always. Know what's going on, what's the trending matters in the topic and all that. Yeah, and that's how you get to network with the right people. Yeah.
All right. So Brian, what's your take on, collaborations and partnerships?
Oh, I think there's a few components to it. There's what we call craftsmanship. If you really believe your craft is so good, I think it would be easier for your consumers to acknowledge that, and they would want to pay top dollar for that or top shilling for that. But there's also brand positioning, and we've seen brands like Valentino, Prada position themselves because they want to dress Beyonce for the maybe next big thing, could be Oscars or whatever, and they still would not pay for that because they just want to dress Beyonce or whoever. But the effect of that, the impact of what they've done spirals, and you see them selling their collection like hotcake. So I would say there are very different components, but all of them work. There are those who would prefer they build their brand to the level where they don't need to position themselves through brand association. That's fine. But there are those for different reasons, not necessarily financial, like Prada doesn't really need Beyonce to push so that they can, but for very strategic reasons, they want to align themselves with specific celebrities or specific personnel, and that's okay. So my take is craftsmanship would sell, would give you brand value, but then in terms of brand positioning, especially if you're starting out, you really need to scale up, you need to network, you need to associate yourself with the right people. Maybe, I don't know, I have never seen your brand, I would never see so you need to get into the spaces where you'd find consumers who would appreciate your craft. And one of them is just aligning and associating and collaborating with a specific person. It could be a celebrity or just a normal person, someone attending a Rurasio. So it just depends on who do you position and what are your price points. If, for instance, you're selling a product that is targeting a consumer with a net of maybe less than 1,500, and because you see them wear this every other day, then you need to just approach every other person. There's a lot of designers I've met and or people, and I'd ask them, where did you get this? Oh, so and so dressed me, and that's how you build your client base. So I think that would be my take.
Yes, please.
Also remember, in fashion we don't sell clothes. We sell FOMO, we sell names, we sell brands.
Yeah, those who missed out today, I'm sure wako na FOMO mahali penye wako. Anyway, so I want us to wind up this conversation, but I just want a last remark from each of you, because I came across an article that says estimated at a potential of 35 billion Kenya shillings, the Kenyan fashion industry struggles to align itself with the wider, more lucrative international market due to the lack of proper visibility through advertising and a lack of support by the government. So with this information in mind, where should we put our manpower? Is it marketing internationally or locally? Just to make sure that our brands are selling out there, si hapa Kenya peke yake. And I think, Brian, I know you want to start, but I want to start with Avido, because, I mean, you've worked with very many international artists, brands, and your attires sell internationally, so maybe we can have that from you.
I mean, like, the most important thing that I think we just need to do is just like, the self-acceptance first, because the self-acceptance will help us to be able like to appreciate our own self and appreciate our own brands, because once we do that, you find even also, let's say, our leaders can be wearing like those attires every time, let's say, they go to conference and stuff, because we look up to, like, sometimes they can be wearing it because maybe like they'll wear maybe, let's say, a Gucci or something like that, because that means money to other people and stuff. But also in a certain way, like I like the way, let's say, like our president have been trying to wear his Kaunda suit each and every time. So to a point whereby like it also like pushes other people like to try to copy paste that similar stuff just to look like that. So they play like a big role. If they start on wearing more of like, Kenyan made attires and garments, it will spark even the other countries to be able like, to keep on wearing it. So it's just basically just like the self-acceptance. But Kenyan fashion is selling a lot outside there. Like if you travel, trust me, man, like I've gone to New York, like there's so many Kenyan brands that are selling outfits there, like Europe, Germany, like Berlin, like it's over there. It's just that, it's just like, let's say our media houses doesn't speak enough about them. Yeah. So it's just, they have to just like, show the spotlight out of it. It will inspire other people like to keep on pushing, because people like earning money in silent because maybe they don't want to pay tax and things like that and whatnot. But people are really selling, to be honest. Like in a month, I can even ship like over 150 outfits outside. People are just ordering and they want people like to associate themselves with it. So if we get enough spotlight to also like show the positive side of how money comes through it, without being afraid that we'll be overtaxed or things like that, I'm telling you, like, yeah. Mm.
Brian, okay. Who should go first? Faith.
It's an interesting dynamic, because the West wants what we are producing, we want what the West is producing, and finding a balance in that. I love Uhuru for a reason. Uhuru used to wear shirts made in Kenya. Like, you will see like his shirt, it's made in Kenya. And, he'll use common tailors. It's a bragging right to them. We need to be proud to wear our own, like, and let's stop being cheap. Let's stop going for thrift as a 50 bob or like whatever. Support someone. Like, have a closet with at least 3 garments from a Kenyan designer. That's how we keep the word. Post them. They don't even have to ask you. Post them. Let them know, oh my goodness, there's this amazing designer. But I feel like Kenya, it has a big name in the West, outside. Like, a lot of designers are recognized big outside. But in Kenya, we don't really appreciate our designers. I don't know if it's like in the Bible, a prophet is not welcomed in their own home, but it will take a mind shift in whatever is in the West is not that good. Whatever we have here is good, and we can build it and appreciate our designers and support them. Yeah.
Brian?
Okay, so that's a very interesting topic, because if you do an analysis of our industry, back in the 80s, it was really doing well. But then we had a recession all over the world, and government was looking for funding. And there was this thing called structural adjustment programs that for you to get funding from World Bank and IMF, you had to kind of lean towards that. So one of the terms or conditions government was given was they needed to liberalize the textile industry. During that time, textile was really confined. There were stores like Deacon's that were doing very well, and local designers would do their thing and have little stores there. Mitumba was not there. So you'd make your shirt, make your trouser, buy shoes from Bata or wherever. The industry was booming, it was vibrant. But then when government was compelled to liberalize the textile industry, one of the reasons, and I think one of the reasons why the West did want the industry to be liberalized was because they wanted to handle waste management. How do they take care of all this heap of textile clothes that are being produced every other season? In Western countries, we have 4 seasons in a year. And there's a lot of clothes that are produced, and most of them are not really sustainable. They are polyester fabrics, and so how do you handle that? So the solution was easy. You take it to Africa as a donation. So those guys that get all these clothes, they get it almost for free. They only pay tax, and they come here and they are sold. So, to answer your collection, sorry, we're in the design space. To answer your question, it's a policy problem, one. So if we can sort the policy aspect of things, things will be much better. And at the Fashion Council, that's the conversation we're having with government. We are also trying to sort out as a short, medium term. There's a lot that is done at the sourcing where you find that for those traders in Gikomba, when they buy a bale, about 30% goes to waste, and they have to. So we are one of the conversations we are having with sorting farms in Amsterdam in the US is you need to sort the sorting issue at the base, only send what can be consumed. The other thing we are discussing with government is for them to sort out, or rather create, and also private sectors, to sort what we call common use facility. If you go to developed countries, Arvido doesn't really need to worry about getting a good tailor. If he gets an order in the US for 1,000 pieces, he can go to a big factory with his drawings, and he gets to choose the fabric he wants. It's done, and he can deliver. Here we still have that as a problem, the issue of human resource. So we are trying to lobby government and stakeholders in the consular space to see how they can give us funding so that young creatives, young designers can actually have a common user facility where you can literally go and you don't need to worry about a tailor that you train after 1 year or 2 years. When they get the craft, they run away. So that's one of the conversations we're trying to have. But I think we're in the right space. It will take time for the industry to grow. In France, there was this guy, is regarded as the founder of modern fashion. Is called Charles Frederick Worth. And when he was starting during the Industrial Revolution, he'd do a few pieces, and he had his girlfriend called Marie Venet Worth. She's actually regarded as the first professional female model. So he'd sew, and then during lunchtime he would take Marie Venet Worth to a cafeteria to model for him. And during those days, no one knew much about fashion and design. So when we see events like this, and models and designers and creatives are really being acknowledged, that's the same base foundation that was done in France, and it took quite some time for it to get a footing. So I'm sure there are people here who've attended this platform and they've never been to a fashion show before. So slowly by slowly we'll get there. It's baby steps, but I think we're heading in the right direction. Yeah.
Great. So I know we can have this conversation, go on for hours and hours, but because we're here for a very important cause, I want us to end the conversation there. But I want to give this chance to our beautiful audience in case there's someone who has a question. This is your moment. Any question? All right. Pass the mic over there to the gentleman in the red fedora.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabriel John, the CEO and the founder of Le Gabriel Collections. So I understand that the fashion industry, there are a lot of cases and concerns of intellectual property theft and design plagiarism, whereby you may come up with an outfit and someone else comes up with almost similar or even a similar one, but they claim to be the outfit. So my concern or my question is maybe as stakeholders, our panelists, maybe our council member, what steps should we designers do or take so that we present this kind of stuff, and if there are already existing legal frameworks, how effective are they? Are they enough? Are they framed enough so that they are able to protect the intellectual properties of us designers? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so you know what I always said, a designer is very important because as an architect is to construction, that's what a designer is to the garment. And naturally, an architect is supposed to, come up with his own drawings. Maybe you can draw inspiration from somewhere else, and there are systems that would protect them and their art. In Kenya, we have the Copyright Act, which, ideally when you're doing your collection, your sketches, you can actually copyright them. And once that is done, you're well protected within the confines of the law. And at the Fashion Council, one of the things we do is actually we have a whole division. Our chair is actually also the chairperson of the Copyright Tribunal. And so we do quite a lot of workshops to equip designers with this kind of knowledge and it's actually not so much in terms of the cost to patent, or rather to copyright your work so that you're well protected, not just here, but also outside. So to answer your questions, I think there's the law is there, it's very clear, and it actually protects you as a designer.
Okay, so I want us to give a round of applause for our panelists. That has been a very good conversation, and we look forward to more. Makofi ya kilo jameni. Yes, asanteni sana, Brian, Faith, and Avido, and we look forward to seeing you more on this platform when we introduce, our calendar as well as the Grand Fashion Awards team. So, MC, fill in, over to you.